Hey guys, it's Kat and I'm back today for my Spring Project Pan 2-month update. So this is the last month we're going into before I conclude my Project Pan just before the end of the new year, and then I'll start a new concept of Project Pans next year. So I might have a think throughout the month what I want to do next year for my Project Pan series, and I'll let you know what's happening when I conclude in a month's time. But it's the start of the month and I thought it was a good time to kick off the month with my Project Pan update, because especially around Christmas time where you're buying stuff and you're playing with stuff and all that kind of stuff, I sort of sometimes lose track of what I've been using a lot, what I haven't been using a lot. So I'm sort of taking this as an opportunity to sort of take inventory, to refocus myself on the Project Pan and really push out these products for the last month, because I do feel like I have made some progress in this last month, but in the last month of the Project Pan coming up, I do have a lot of work to do. So it's good to sort of reorient myself and really start focusing. So let's get on to it. So I have used up a couple of products since my last check-in, which is great because like I said, the last sort of month I've sort of been losing my way a little bit and I really need to rein it back in for the rest of the Project Pan, but I have successfully still used up 2 products. The first one is the Maybelline Master Prime Anti-Redness Primer. This was a very sort of like, it was like a thin moisturizer with a slight green tint. I didn't find that it really corrected any redness for me, but it was a nice sort of hydrating moisturizing primer. And I mainly like to apply this with a sponge. So I actually went through this pretty quickly. I will put the weight on the screen of where it was at last time because I measured this by weight. And I do have the scales next to me. So let's see how much it weighs now. So currently it weighs 10.6364 grams. So yeah, 10 grams would be the packaging, but that is completely done. Another thing that I have completely finished is the L'Oreal Pro Glow Infallible Pro Glow. Oh my God, you can tell I'm a bit rusty with filming. Foundation. So when I first introduced it in my Project Pan, I was up to here when it settled. Then last check-in, it was down to here, and then I used it up. So I used this up pretty quickly. So that one is done. Another product that I have made some pretty good progress on is my fragrance. I have been using this so much, probably too much. I've been wearing a lot of it, but it is my fragrance by DKNY. So you can see that if you do level it out, it's probably, looks like it's got like 1/3 of the way down the bottle. If you look at it that way, it's got maybe, once again, 1/3 of it left, maybe a bit less. And if you compare it to the photo on the screen, it was way above the halfway line last time. So I feel like I'm going good guns with this, and I feel like I will be able to finish it up, which is really good. So this is sort of like the easy portion. It's the tapered in portion. And I have been overusing that. And by saying I overuse it, I spray a lot more than I normally would with strong fragrances, but because this is actually quite like it sort of diffuses pretty quickly. It's not one of those really strong lingering ones. You can actually use quite a bit of it without a problem. So yeah, I've been going, yeah, you get it. Okay, some products that I've also seen some noticeable changes with. Oh my God, remember how I introduced a highlighter last month and I was like, oh my God, what am I doing? Because I realized how much I hadn't used of this particular highlighter. So it's the What's Up by Benefit. It's a cream highlighter, and the way I usually use it is I will put it on my finger like this and tap it on. And I noticed when sort of filming that last video that that meant that I had barely used any of it. So when you'll see a photo of the screen of how much it wound down, so how much product, when you wind it all the way down, how much was sort of like gone, and there was barely any. But I found a way to use this that I actually really like. I'm wearing it today. I'm also wearing a different highlighter, but what I started doing with this, I tried it a couple of times as like a primer, like an illuminating primer, and it is far too glowy for that. But I did quite like it because, especially since I use quite matte foundations generally, I sort of just do this. So in the sides of my face, I don't have oily skin. In my T-zone, I've got oil. In the sides, I've just got normal to dry-ish skin. So I find that if I draw sort of like this, I sort of draw down my jaw onto my cheekbones, my forehead a little bit. I do that before I do my makeup. I either do it at the primer step, or if I'm not wearing primer, I'll just draw it on my face, and then I go in with a sponge or a buffing brush or something, and I put my foundation on and sort of blend it just into the edges to have a bit of a glow. So you can see that up here, it's a bit glowy. That's not highlighter, that's from this, which is highlighter. It is highlighter, but not powder highlighter. And so I don't have it in the center as much because that's where it looks greasy, but I do have it sort of just blended on the side. I don't know why, but on camera, my bronzer looks really bad. So I've been using it like that, and if I twist it down, you'll see how much I've actually used up. So I've used up a bit, not like heaps, but if you compare it to the photo on the screen, like I showed before, it's a difference, right? So if I twist that up, it's like the equivalent of using up maybe this much, which once again, isn't much when you've got this much, but it's definitely a start. So, and I quite like using it that way. And I find that the key with project panning is you have to find a way to use the products that you really like, because if you don't like using the products, then you just don't want to use the products. So yeah, I was worried about using this, but after playing with it, I'm not so worried. I know I won't use it up by next month, but I always thought that this might carry over to next year anyway. It was just sort of a head start on it. All right. Let's move on to MAC Velvet Teddy. That is how much I've got left, so that much there. You'll see a photo on the screen of where I was at last month. I have used it quite a bit. To be fair, I think in the first month of this project pan, which is a 3-month project pan, I think I used this more than I have in the last month because I've been buying Christmas things, and like I'm wearing now like a new Too Faced Christmas pack thing. So I haven't been using Velvet Teddy as much, but I still really enjoy using it, and it's always in my handbag. So I have been using it. I'm confident of that, but I'm not too sure how much it's gone down. Am I confident about using this in the next month? Probably not, but if I use it every day, I think I will. So I just need to remember, okay, sometimes you want to wear the bright colored lipsticks. No, wear your Velvet Teddy. So I'll work on it. I think I'll be good. All right, the next item that I haven't really seen drastic results with is Coty Airspun. This is one I introduced last month, so it hasn't been with the whole project pan. It's just been introduced last month, and once again, it's probably going to carry over to next year. I didn't see any noticeable change in this, but I did weigh it, so let's weigh it again. And it is at around 78.74 grams. Now, you'll see on the screen what it was at when I introduced it. I don't remember off the top of my head, but hopefully I'm making some progress because I have been using it. Another product that I've seen a little bit of visual change in, but to be fair, I have not used this much. I hit pan on this last month, but you could barely see it. And now I've sort of just worked down the pan a bit, so you can see it there. This is my Colourpop cream gel color in Swerve, so it's an eyeliner. I'm wearing it today. I haven't actually been wearing eyeliner too much this month, and if I have, it's generally a colored liner, so I've only used this probably 3 or 4 times, but you can see that I've just worked away that pan. So yeah, if you consider this done because I've hit pan, then hooray, but I did want to use this up by the end of the year. That's not going to happen, but like the highlighter and probably like the powder, I'll carry it onto my next project pan, but it's good that I have hit pan because I'm seeing some progress. The last 2 makeup items before we get on to skincare is the Benefit They're Real. This is an eyelash primer. So it's a brown product. You use it to prime your eyelashes. I've been using it in my brows. I've been using them on my lashes. I've been using them wherever I can. I do quite like this product. I do feel like it's drying out a lot, so it's getting less enjoyable to use. It's that little bit of a, oh, now I have to go to effort to like put this on now. So I don't know when I consider this done or if we'll see a noticeable difference in the weight. Let's weigh it. So it's 11.21 grams. What does that mean? I don't know. Well, it changed to 11.2. I don't know, whatever. On the screen, you'll see what it was. But I feel like at the end of the next month, regardless, I'm going to chuck this because I do feel like it's drying out a lot. It is a sample, but you know, I did actually quite enjoy using that. Then we've got the Innisfree Cushion Foundation. I've just taken it out of the compact because it is easier to use this way, believe it or not. So it's a cushion compact. Those dark dots I explained when I introduced this. I was trying to put darkening drops in it because this is too light for me. I've been pretty much using this when I'm going on no makeup days. What are the cats doing? I don't know. When I'm sort of going low makeup days, I'll apply this. It doesn't last super well on my face. I know by the end of the day, my nose will be completely foundationless, but it is a nice sort of, it's got decent coverage, but it's a nice light foundation on a daily basis. In the first month, I didn't use this. I was focusing more on the Infallible Pro Glow, but in the last month, I have used this a handful of times, maybe half a dozen times, so not too many. I really love the scent of it. It's really, really great. But we'll weigh it and see if there's a difference from when I introduced it. So right now it's at 18.74 grams. So you'll see where it's at on the screen. Hopefully it's gone down and not up. I don't know why it would go up, but who knows? Maybe it's multiplying. But yeah, if I keep going with that one, I'll be done by the end of the year. But let's be real, similar to the mascara primer thing, it's sort of like when you feel like you're done, because these products just get drier and drier. It's not like it's a bottle where you go, oh, it's empty now. You have to use your judgment when you're done. And I feel like these are both getting there sort of, and whatever happens, end of next month, I'm chucking them out. All right, onto skincare, and we've got 3 products by The Ordinary, and I have been focusing on different ones at different times. So there are 2 that have quite decent progress and 1 that only has slight progress. This is the Buffet Serum. So it's a serum that's supposed to do a lot of things. That's why it's called the Buffet. You can see that last month I was there. When I introduced it, I was up to there, and now I'm down to here. So I will mark that. But yeah, there's very little left. I would say that's what, 1/5 of the bottle? Maybe 1/6 of the bottle. So I think I could easily use that up. I have been sort of churning through these because I've taken it as an opportunity to start using skincare on my neck and sort of on my chest a bit more, which has been great. And if you're going to want to do that, a serum that is affordable like The Ordinary, it's probably a good way to start putting it on your body. I have been enjoying it, and I think I've seen some good effects on my skin. So I'm tempted to keep doing it. But when you have a really expensive serum, you're like, I don't really want to like put it on my everywhere because it's sort of wasting it. But these, I'm sort of like, look, they're $10 serums. Who gives a shit? Anyway, the next one is my Retinoid. So I use this at night. You can't really tell by the bottle. This actually has a lot less than the last one. So I was up to here when we started that last month. And right now I'm down to, I would say where the bottom of the label is. So I'm down to there. I'm nearly finished. I use this most nights. Good, hooray. The one that I am not doing super well with, and I'll just let this settle, it's a bit of a thicker serum, so as I talk, it's just gonna go up and up and up. Hooray. But this is the Niacinamide, and you can see that I made only a little bit of progress this time around, and that's because I was using the other serums instead of this. I find that I can't use this and this at the same time because they have a similar sort of almost goopy texture, and it just feels really heavy, and I don't know. So I sort of use one or the other, and I've been just reaching for that one more. No particular reason. It was just closer to me on the sink, so I've just been reaching for it more. But yeah, I've got I've only made a little progress on that. I think I can finish this up, but I do need to make this a priority, which I don't think will be hard to do, especially looking at the progress that I made on these. Once these are done, that one will be a breeze. Last 2 items are my body lotions. One is my Bondi Sands Everyday Tanner Gradual Tanning Milk. I quite like this. It's a nice thin product, but I haven't been using it much in the last month. So you can see when I introduced it to last check-in, I actually used it a bit. I was going out to a lot of things. The weather was getting warmer, starting to wear skirts more and dresses. You're like, yay. you know, need some color on my legs. So I was using that a lot more. In the last month, I've only used it a handful of times. I haven't been going places as much and the weather's been crappy. So I haven't really felt motivated to use this. But I feel like if I used this much that first time, I could sort of do it. I just need to dedicate time to using that a bit more. I have instead been using a bit more of this. Now, when I hold it up to the light, I can see that it's down to like the neck. So I'm nearly done with this. I will easily finish this. I could even finish this in a week if I wanted to, but I did weigh this. So let's see the weight. So the weight is 96.07 grams. So on the screen, you'll see where the last check-in was, and that's what it is currently at. So yeah, I think I could easily do this, which is good. All right, so that's everything that's in my project pan at the moment. We're wrapping it up. We're into the last month, so it's more about knuckling down and really trying to finish the products that I have. It's sort of good sometimes to come back together and regroup because, like I said at the start, I have sort of been trying a lot of holiday makeup and playing with a lot of things that I sort of forget what I'm trying to focus on. So having them all gathered again means that I can really start focusing on them. A trick that I like to use is often keep them in a box on your makeup table so you can keep reaching for them. But right now my makeup table is an absolute bomb. So I'll go organize that and then do this again. But I will try to knuckle down and get as many of these done as possible. But I am quite aware that a couple of them will carry on to next year, which is completely fine. But there are products that I feel like are doable, but are maybe a little bit of work. So I feel like this lipstick, for example, I feel like if I dedicate myself to using it up, I can definitely use it up, but it requires dedication, not just casual use. So I'm really gonna have to pull up my socks and get some stuff done. All right, guys, hopefully you enjoyed that update. If you did want to see my past videos, I'll link a playlist on the screen and in the description box. I'll also list the products here in the description box. And some people might be asking about this crazy makeup I'm wearing. I'll try to link that in this or list it in the description box too. And I will see you guys very soon. Bye.